Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Hello. Okay, so I wanted to come on and do a quick little rant. This is just me wanting to talk about something that I'm very interested in, and hopefully other people will be interested in too. I am Mo. Something you might not know about me is I'm a writer, and I've written queer fiction since I was a kid. Actually, I think my first even experimental with like kind of media would be this one like had these two OCs, and one of the OCs was just supposed to be like a throwaway character, you know, the character that you introduce and then you kill them off, you know. And then I wrote another character who was supposed to be the villain, and I ended up making the two kind of pull it up, and it was so messy. It was so fucking messy because I didn't understand romance, and my head was just like, oh yeah, they have to be as toxic as possible, I guess, in a sense. And I remember writing this one scene between the two where they kiss for the first time, and I was just like, wait, this is kind of interesting. And this is, I didn't grow up with a lot of media like that. I didn't grow up with people, you know, kissing the same gender and stuff like that. So for me, it was the only way I could express and experiment in a safe zone with people who were, I don't think they were homophobic per se, but I think they didn't really care too much about who was with who. I think there were some other people who were probably queer, something like that, in the community, but we didn't exactly have the conversation of that, because most of us weren't really close. We just showed each other what we wrote and stuff. But as someone who has been writing something for my community, for my OCs, now I look back on it and I think of, oh god, it is so horrible. It is so poorly written. But that's the kind of funny thing about being an English writer, when English is your native language and you struggle with grammar and with all of that sort of thing. So with me, I think the most important part when it comes to writing queer characters is to give them to respect them, you know, like make sure that they are respected. Cade is an obvious example of that, being a personification of me, basically. You can see in most of the chapters where he will express body dysmorphia, he will express discomfort with how he looks, his shape, and he will continuously have a kind of nervousness around himself and how he expresses himself. Though he does kind of have it's not a solution, but more so a way to label it through Rem, who is a queer character. I don't think I spoke about her being queer anytime at the time of the first chapters, because Rem is a very old character of mine. But through her, he kind of realized that it was okay to be whatever shape, color, whatever he wanted to be, and she was happy with him however he wanted to represent. And through the two of them, I kind of found the comfort in being able to express myself in a way that wasn't exactly feminine or masculine. It was just me. And Cade was non-binary and has always been confirmed to be non-binary and aro ace. So I got to explore not only being non-binary, but I got to explore being aro ace in a relationship that was healthy, that was good, with another character who didn't mind it. Now, Rem had dated other people before Cade. She had had a girlfriend and a boyfriend way before she met Cade at all, but they weren't exactly very permanent due to other stuff. I'm not going to go super into it. But she had kind of like bigger history of it and knew more about it, and she kind of guided Cade through it, and it was a very like nice way to explore how I would have felt in a relationship. Now, if you want to read all of it, you can. I will leave the link to it in my description and everything. But some of the things I wanted to talk about when it came to all of this that it just makes me so happy is I remember writing the first scene because I wanted to write it in a way that was just like a kind of flicker of memories, you know? But the first scene I wanted to be about him, about his clothing, about how he looks, how he feels. And I wanted it to be like, he doesn't really understand how to communicate. He's always had issues communicating, so have I, you know. And I feel like it gets to the point where Rem, like, I'm reading it right now. Do you like how you look? She asked. He shook his head. It wasn't important, but it felt weird now that in this calmness under the roof and with the food that he'd begun to dislike what he looked like. And she teases him, you know, because he finds he is verbally mute and doesn't really speak much. He has electromutism. And her being like, kind of saying, yeah, it's okay to not like how we look. It means you're getting comfortable, and that's good. And then she gets all excited and like takes him into her bedroom so she can like play dress up. I always thought of that scene as kind of like a dress up scene. Like she loves to like make clothing. She was very much a sewing person because she bonded with her mama over it. And she would take him into his room and play dress up with him and just let him like go through all of her clothes and everything. And I thought about giving him like a dress or something, like a sunflower dress, because flowers are very big symbolism of their love. And the sunflower, you know, being their thing. I wanted him to kind of have a sunflower, but I don't know how to draw that. So if anyone can draw that and send me that, that would be fucking brilliant. I just want a sunflower, him in the sunflower dress, because he would look so adorable. I love it. I think it would be so cool. I don't think I like dresses, but I feel like Kate would probably not mind it super much, you know? And another quote I think is so interesting and I really, really liked writing was, we give things a name to give it importance. Every name has a meaning and it makes it more... She paused, making that face, thoughtful or stuck in her head. She'd become used to this expression as she often spoke fast about things she enjoyed. Like this, a bluebell. She held up a blue flower, its cap, as it's called, was hanging downwards, creating an odd curve. Because it looks like a bell. And she continued showing him flowers and stuff. And it's just so fucking, oh, it makes me so happy. It's just little things. It's just a little things that just make me so happy. And it makes me so happy. The two of them makes me so fucking happy. But the biggest thing is to just let them grow around one another and let them not... didn't ever want them to feel like they were hanging onto each other or that Rem was babying him in any way, because he is a grown fucking person. He can take care of himself. But I also wanted her to be kind of overprotective, because that's how Rem is, you know, like being really overprotective of the people she cares about, because she's lost a lot of people. So, you know, it's really important for her that Kate wasn't hurt or wasn't starving and felt safe and all that sort of thing, which led to them having an argument further down the line, you know, because he doesn't like that particularly. But just writing the two of them in small scenes, I don't know whether I should have written them in like glimpses of time throughout their time together, because they lived together for like 100 years, so I didn't know how to approach that. If there's anyone who does writing or anything like that, let me know, because I just did not know how to approach that and put that out there in a sense, in a way that made sense, compared to like maybe, you know, glimpses in time, like little flashbacks that the two of them, of important scenes that felt important to me to put down and show how they interact with one another, the important scenes of how their growth goes between the both of them. And it is very... I like how I wrote it, but I feel like I didn't give Rem enough... How do I explain that? Like, it doesn't feel like I gave her a lot of growth or showed a lot of her. She has an entire chapter that's dedicated to religion for her, because her family was very religious. It will be maybe similar to Christianity. That was what I felt in that way. But it was very much like men do men things, men go out and work and women stay home, and her feelings about that. And struggles with that, because she just wanted to make everyone happy, but she was put into shoes that she didn't want. And it's kind of like a little bit of a metaphor for her being kind of gender fluid, kind of, you know, not exactly just feminine. She could go masculine as well, like gender fluid in between the two of them. And I hope I did that justice. I've never had a transgender fluid character before, so I genuinely hope I did that justice. And I was so scared to put that out there and be like, oh fuck, people are gonna think that I'm saying this is good stuff. I wanted to make sure that people understood that she was struggling with this and struggling with being tied down like that, and not only struggling to connect with her parents, of course, because her mom was insanely strict, but also because she didn't just want to cook and clean, she wanted to go out, she wanted to do things, she wanted to get dirty and hunt and all that sort of thing, you know, like the important stuff, the different stuff and everything. It explains it, so the quote here is, right, so in my coven we were put in the boxes of men and women. I was assigned female at birth, so my mother dressed me in pink and made me cook and clean, since I was very feminine. She explained that by the look on her face, it wasn't a pleasant memory. Men and women, he asked. He knew humans had gender roles, but this was confusing. She sat down and put out her hands. Men are associated with physical strength, work, and the color blue. Women are associated with being thin, soft-spoken, and pink. It was tiring, she admitted with a smile. How come? Kate asks. She sighs. I never quite felt like she wanted me to be. Felt like I had these huge shoes to fill and I just ended up stumbling around. Sighed and sat down next to him, looking up at the entrance of the bunker. The flower bouquets danced in the wind calmly. It was kind of pretty. She is still a kind of religious person, but now in her own terms compared to what her parents forced her to be, you know? And I really like this one because it is one way for me to deal with kind of religion on my own. I've briefly spoken about it before, I'm not going to go too much into it, but it's a way for me to kind of process religion in a healthier light, in a more me light, and realize what I actually want to believe in compared to what I was forced to growing up, being around a very Christian family and everything. I'm not going to take up too much more time. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited. I really like all of this sort of thing. If you guys want me to do like another episode or like do a deep dive into every single chapter, let me know. But I thought I would just rant about this because I thought it was really cool. And I want to end off with a scene that is really, really cute now. Rem and Cade are in the house. And they just come back. And they were joking about flowers. And I will leave it with this. Jokingly remarked, Queen of Flowers, making her grin wider. Of course, it's Queen. It felt weird. You've seen those words used for people who lay and kiss in bed with one another, yet he didn't need that with her. The feeling was there, flowering in his stomach, and that was enough. He was happy with this. You okay? Rem asked softly. He nodded. Like you, as a queen. He softly sighed, his hand suddenly shaking as he lowered his gaze, so unsure how to look or where to look. So Rem's hand gently moved his gaze to hers amid a smile. I like you as a king too, replied softly. He felt weird, very weird. Shuffling back as his tail coiled his leg before he grimaced as Rem chuckled. What? He signed. You're just being you, Rem remarked, hitting him, and he huffed. Well, anything have to change with this? He was so used to signing it become second nature, yet found himself struggling to find the words to keep his hands still. Human emotions were weird, and what in read books, he didn't want that. But he couldn't describe what he felt or not. He knew he spoke the truth. He liked her. But what did that even mean? He felt her hand in his and looked up. His gaze must have shown fear. She read him like an open book. He doesn't need to. She softly replies and smiles. He nodded. Okay. And that was enough for him. That was wagging before he noticed, though he saw her grin as she walked into the kitchen. Good. Right. I'd forgotten about that.